Council holds a session on the situation and the developments in the Middle East.
An agreement on a unified national budget and welcome US support in facilitating this. The agreement's implementation will represent significant progress in the responsible management of Libya's economy and respect for its financial institutions. We urge Libyan stakeholders to also make progress on the UN-facilitated, Libyan-led political process. Thank you.
I thank the representative of the United Kingdom for the statement. I give the floor to the representative of Somalia.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have the honor to deliver this statement on behalf of A3, namely the Democratic Republic of Congo, Liberia, and my own country, Somalia. We express our appreciation to the United Kingdom for its commendable efforts in steering the discussion on the resolution that has just been adopted. Throughout this negotiation, A3 engaged constructively to reach a balanced text that addresses the many concerns raised by Libya. Despite some shortcomings in the text, A3 has voted in favor of it because we recognize the merit of its provisions and the progress it has achieved. Mr. President, A3 is deeply concerned about the continuous erosion of Libya's frozen assets due to misuse or mismanagement by certain international financial institutions. We reiterate that these assets are frozen for the sole purpose of protecting and preserving their value for the benefits of the Libyan people, not for the institutions holding the funds. A3 demands full accountability, reparations, and compensation of such violations. In this regard, we welcome the inclusion of paragraph 17, which requests member states and financial institutions to support a comprehensive audit by Libyan Investment Authority to verify the aggregate amount, location, and jurisdiction of all frozen assets. We also welcome the update to paragraph 19A of Resolution 1970 of 2011, which now allows LIA to use its frozen assets to pay salaries and requirements that LIA remain at the center of any request to change the custodian of the frozen assets, both of which are long-standing requests addressed in this resolution. Lastly, A3 will continue working to ensure Libyan views are prioritized in the issuance of the implementation assistance notices, enabling LIA to reinvest its frozen cash reserves as mandated by paragraph 14 of the Resolution 2769 of 2025, which is currently under consideration. To conclude, Mr. President, A3 expresses its unwavering support of its sovereignty, unity, territorial integrity, and political independence. We reiterate our commitment to protecting and preserving the Libyan frozen assets for the benefit of the Libyan people. We stand in solidarity with the Libyan people who have endured hardship due to miscalculations and hasty decisions made in the past by this Council. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Somalia for the statement. I give the floor to the representative of Greece.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I would like to thank the United Kingdom for ably conducting a successful negotiation and for facilitating the successful adoption of this resolution renewing the Libya sanctions regime. Greece welcomes the renewal of the Libya sanctions regime, including the extension of the mandate of the panel of experts. We should collectively support Libya's economic recovery. In this regard, we welcome the inclusion of clarifying provisions regarding the assets freeze aimed at protecting frozen assets for the benefit of the Libyan people. In particular, we note the provisions requesting member states and encouraging relevant financial institutions to ensure the protection of frozen assets, as well as to support and engage with a comprehensive audit conducted by the Libyan Investment Authority. This audit is expected to provide much-needed clarity on the aggregate amount, location, and jurisdiction of all frozen assets of the Libyan Investment Authority and to establish a comprehensive and transparent inventory. We consider this an important step towards preserving their value. We also welcome the clarifications on the implementation of the assets freeze, including on the reinvestment possibilities. To this end, the resolution clarifies, among others, that salaries to be paid by the Libyan Investment Authority for its activities fall within the scope of paragraph 19A of Resolution 1970, and that the costs associated with the audit may constitute basic expenses within the meaning of the same provision. The resolution also clarifies the issue of the transfer of frozen assets between custodian banks within the same jurisdiction and encourages relevant financial institutions to engage constructively with the Libyan Investment Authority to help facilitate the implementation of the measure outlined in paragraph 14 of Resolution 2769. Against this backdrop, we are glad to see that certain issues on OP14 have been clarified, firming our belief that the relevant implementation assistance notice should be promptly finalized to expedite and facilitate reinvestment without further delay. In conclusion, Mr. President, as a neighboring country and long-standing partner of Libya, Greece reiterates the importance of advancing the political process with a view to achieving a strong, stable and unified Libya, free from foreign interference and fully in control of its sovereign institutions. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Greece for the statement. I give the floor to the representative of China.
President, the Security Council has just unanimously adopted Resolution 2819. We wish to thank the efforts made by the pen holder, the United Kingdom. The original intention of the Security Council's asset freeze on the Libyan Investment Authority was to safeguard the commonwealth of the Libyan people, not to punish them. We welcome the resolution's adjustment and optimization of the asset freeze measures in response to Libya's requests, which will help ensure better protection of the frozen assets. Relevant financial institutions should, in accordance with the resolution, engage constructively with the Libyan side and promote the prompt and reasonable reinvestment of frozen cash assets. The Sanctions Committee is currently formulating an implementation assistance notice in this regard. China looks forward to all parties reaching consensus at an early date to help preserve and increase the value of the frozen Libyan assets. For a long time, illegal oil smuggling in Libya has been rampant, resulting in the significant loss of national wealth. China supports the Security Council in strengthening efforts to combat illegal oil smuggling in Libya and calls on all parties to implement the requirements of the resolution, ensuring that all transactions related to Libyan oil exports are conducted through the National Oil Corporation System of Libya, so that Libya's oil resources truly benefit the Libyan people. The Security Council should continue to pay close attention to the real challenge of illicit arms proliferation in Libya and call on member states to strictly implement the Council's arms embargo to help create a favorable environment for maintaining stability in Libya. As a good friend of Libya, China has consistently and firmly supported Libya's sovereignty, independence and territorial integrity and attaches importance to Libya's legitimate concerns. We stand ready to continue working with all parties to make concrete efforts towards achieving peace and development in Libya. Thank you, President.
I thank the representative of China for the statement. I give the floor to the representative of Panama.
Gracias.
Thank you, President. We would like to thank the United Kingdom as penholder of the resolution for their leadership in facilitating consensus around the renewal of the sanctions regime relevant to Libya. Panama has voted in favor of renewing the sanctions regime on Libya. But we would specifically like to refer to the assets freezing regime established in a resolution from 2011. We reiterate that such assets should be preserved and managed in a responsible manner in order for them to be used for the benefit of the Libyan people when the time comes for it. In this sense, we call upon member states and financial institutions to ensure strict compliance with these measures, ensuring as well the preservation of their value. Panama takes note of efforts to strengthen transparency around these assets, and specifically through a comprehensive audit of the Libyan Investment Authority. We consider that this exercise is a positive step to clarify the whereabouts and state of the frozen assets while we respect the confidentiality of banking data. We also recognize the importance of cooperation among member states, financial institutions, and the competent Libyan authorities to ensure the effective implementation of the sanctions regime. Panama reaffirms its support to a balanced approach that combines the strict application of these measures along with support for the Libyan political process that always seeks the well-being of its people. Thank you.
I thank the representative of Panama for the statement. I give the floor to the representative of United States.
Thank you, Mr. President. The United States would also like to thank the United Kingdom as penholder for leading negotiations and achieving a balanced text. The United States thanks the panel of experts for its comprehensive and unflinching annual report highlighting illicit arms and oil smuggling in Libya, and for its recommendations that helped to shape this resolution. To protect frozen assets for the future benefit of the Libyan people, the resolution encourages relevant financial institutions to support a comprehensive audit conducted by the Libyan Investment Authority to verify all of its frozen assets. In order to impede illicit arms exports of petroleum and avoid the diversion of energy revenues from the Libyan state and the Libyan people, the resolution calls for payments for crude oil exported from Libya to be routed exclusively through the accounts of the National Oil Corporation at the Libyan Foreign Bank. We look forward to working with Council members next month to extend Operation Irini's mandate and to strengthen its capacity to enforce this Council's resolutions. I would like to end on a very positive note. On April 11th, with the support from the United States, and in particular Senior Advisor Boulos, Libya's Western and Eastern stakeholders agreed to Libya's first unified national budget in more than 13 years. Full implementation of the unified budget will advance Libya's financial stability to defend the value of their currency and the Libyan people's purchasing power, boost Libyan oil production, and enable the implementation of transparent development projects across Libya, amongst other important economic benefits. The work we do here to discourage illicit activities, strengthen Libyan institutions, and protect the assets of the Libyan people will complement this landmark achievement and bring us closer to the goal of a united and prosperous Libya. Thank you.
I thank the representative of the United States for the statement. There are no more names inscribed on the list of speakers. The meeting is adjourned.
Well, that was UN session, UN Security Council session on the situation in Libya and the illegal putting restrictions to the illegal smuggling, selling of Libyan oil. The session is about the current international crisis and escalation involving countries like Libya and Iran. The representatives from 15 member states spoke during the session, which was monitored by Bahrain. They were UK, Somalia, Greece, China, and USA. What was the main topic of the session is the ongoing and upcoming vote meeting at the United Nations Security Council about Libya and the oil sanctions. The Council is discussing renewing the sanctions and measures on Libya, especially those linked to illegal oil exports, and these measures allow the countries to inspect the ships and stop or seize oil shipments that are exported without the approval of the Libyan authorities. And the goal is to prevent the militias or the unauthorized groups from selling Libyan oil illegally. Libya has major oil reserves and different factions try to control this oil. Well, we are going to be updating you by the UN sessions. Please stay tuned.